Welcome to the video. This video is part two. The previous video, we actually built an API in Node.js using Codeium's Windsurf. So you can go watch the previous video to see how we did that. This video is going to be the front end application to work with the back end. So you can go to codeium.com/Windsurf to read more about Windsurf. We are actually running the application currently in a Docker container. The application was built in Node.js, so you can go to nodejs.org to learn more about that. You can go to docker.com to learn more about that. We are testing our application, or at least the API, using Postman. So you can go to postman.com to learn more about that. So let's go ahead and dive in and get started. I've created this blank file right here, so there's nothing in it, and I'm going to open up Windsurf. Let's see if it creates. Okay, so I need to go to Windsurf. Let's just go here. This is the actual backend, the application, and I am going to create a new window, and then I'm just going to move this window over to our window over here, and I'm just going to kind of. I've zoomed in on this, and I hope it works a little better for some of the smaller screens. I'm going to click Open Folder. I'm going to go to my web app, open it up, and of course it is a blank folder. Let's go back to our productivity API. So this is the Node.js productivity API. This is the README file. The README file shows you, tells you how to install packages. It tells you, to create your env.env file, which you would keep your JWT secret key in, your MongoDB, your database URL, and of course what port the API is going to be running on. You can use npm to run it directly, or the way that we're running it is using Docker. So we ran this command right here. And if we go over to our Docker desktop, we can see that the application is running. Our containers are there. The images are there. Everything's looking good. And this is Postman. This is how we can test it. So I've already went through and I registered this user, and then I clicked login to this user, and then I took the token, and just in the previous video, I put the token in the pro token value, and then so we have the to-dos. So if I click on get to-dos, we see this. I'm just going to go ahead and send this, and then it shows the list of our to-dos. So we see that we have meet the dev team title and then meet the design team. So if I go to create to do, and we've got this test to do, I'm just going to go ahead and hit that real quick. Now we get the response. Everything looks good. Let's go back to our get to do. And if we hit send this again, now we have that test to do. We can go to update to do. So let's say we want to change this to do update. And what we'll need to do is go back to our get to dos, and we see this user or the ID for this. So this is the to do here. We'll go back to update. We're going to go to parameters. We're going to change this value, and we're going to paste our new value in there, and then I'll save that, and I'll just clear this response out, and we send it. And we get the updated response. It says to do update, so that's a good sign. We go back to our get to dos, and then if we hit send again, we see the to do is updated. We still have this to do here, so now let's go ahead and delete this to do. So we'll just paste it in here, save it. I'm going to clear this response. We'll go ahead and click again, and that was deleted successfully. So now if we go back to get, this should disappear when we send, and sure enough it does. We're back to the two previous we had. All right, so let's go ahead and jump over to our file here. We'll just do a simple prompt. Let's say please create a front end application to work with our backend API at local host port 3000. And let's say, please create a sleek, modern, professional looking web app. For reference, here is the documentation from our API that this app needs to connect to. All right, so I'm going to go back here and we'll get this README file. And the thing about this README file is that it has all the endpoints here and all of the sample JavaScript that we would need to send to the endpoints. So it can use that as a reference point. And I'll paste that in there. And I will go ahead and click our submit button. Now I do have Claude 3.5 Sonnet selected, and I am on Write. So let's go ahead and click send. And Write gives it the ability to write files, to create files, to edit files, and as opposed to chat when we would just want to ask questions. So it's going to create a React Vite application. So we're going to accept that. And for now, I'm just going to pause the video and I'll just go through and accept all the buttons and let it build it out. That's going to be redundant and it's going to take a while. I'll be back in a minute. All right, so the app is finished. It's looking pretty good here. We've got our dashboard that shows a list of all of our different elements. So we have our to-dos, our notes, our events, and reminders. We can go through and test things out. So we have I have been testing it, of course. I just followed the prompts. As I found errors, I would just go ahead and enter them into the prompt, and I'll show you how to do that. So I just opened up my inspector. So if I go Option, Command, and then it opens up the inspector in console log. So as errors will appear on the page, they'll show up over here, and you can copy those and then go over to the prompt and just describe the error that you have and paste that there. Or if it doesn't show an error, just say what's going on. Sometimes the error won't show up there. So we can create a new to-do here. So we'll just go new to-do and just test to-do. We'll set the priority as high and we'll leave it at pending. So we'll create that. And so we see that it's here. We can also complete it and we can delete it. So that's good. We have our notes here. So we have a couple test notes here. We'll create a new note. And we'll just say best note ever. And just this is a test. And we'll set the color for blue. We can add tags. So we'll just say, I don't know, school. And we'll add the tag. We'll say work. Add the tag. And then we'll just create it. All right, so we see school and work and best note ever. We can delete notes, or we can edit notes. So if I go a new note and then just add some random text there, we update it and we've got it's added the text there. We can delete our note. Events, we have a couple test events here. Let's add a new event here. So let's say event of the day. Event of the day. Let's change that to event. Test event. And we'll just say that looks good. We'll make it till 10 p.m. Make it a long event, all day long, 12 hours. Location, we're going to say Knoxville, which is where I am at. Participants, of course, LastPasses want to show up here. We'll say John. And it's saying to put email in there, so I guess that doesn't really matter, but email.com. We'll say Lisa at email.com. Okay, so here's our event of the day. It created it. Can we edit it? So let's just add some random stuff here and update it. Random there. It looks good. We can delete it. Perfect. Reminders. So here's our reminders here. Let's go say new reminder. This is a reminder. We can set this medium priority, and repeat will go monthly. Just create it. And we have our new reminder here. It's set to monthly. It's medium. Let's edit. Say we'll change this to old and update that so we can save our reminder. Can we delete it? We can. All right. And to-dos are good. Everything's looking good here. It's got a correct amount of our items here. Let's test that. So if we go here and let's just delete this note and then go back to our dashboard. Now it's only one. So excellent. The app is working. Hope you enjoyed the video. In the next video, we are going to look into creating a iPhone app and then get that to work with our API. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.